Yes, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning all.
சரி இது அது குறைக்க மாட்டாரா? அந்த இது குறைக்க மாட்டாரா? எவ்வளவு சொன்னாரு? 6.5. அன்னைக்கு அவங்கிட்ட 5.5 சொன்னாரு. கொஞ்சம் குறைக்க முடியாதா? 5 வச்சுக்க முடியாது. 4.5. ஏய் ஐயோ புரியுது.
Can you see the slide now?
Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay. So in the previous class, I discussed about what is research, what are the different types of research, and how to conduct research work, particularly focusing on the management aspect of research. What could be the limitations of research? Those things we have discussed. So in this class, we are going to discuss about research articles. Okay, there are different types of research articles. If you visit, if you go through any journal, any reputed journal, you will see whenever you will submitting a manuscript. Okay, mind it that I'm uttering the term manuscript, not actually paper. Very loosely speaking, we very often we term it as paper, but it is not actually paper. First you make the manuscript, and when the manuscript is published in a journal, then it becomes a paper. So anyway, we can loosely speaking, we can say it as paper, but strictly speaking, not paper, it is manuscript. Anyway, so in any good journal, you will find that first it is asked that what type of article it is, and a lot of options are usually given. So among those options, actually two options are the most important options. So one is the review article and another is the original research article. Okay, so one is review article and another is original research article. Basically, we use these two options. So as I said earlier, that review paper, it is actually uh, in your list of publications, review papers are actually basically not considered except your PhD work, because in PhD work it is very, very vital, because in in your thesis there will be one particular chapter which will be based on literature review. So that's why review article is very important. If you can make a review paper, you can uh, you can have lot of insights about those particular area or topic. That is one good point. And another good point is that in your PhD work, it is also counted. And whenever finally you will make the thesis, you can simply copy and paste it from the journal article to your thesis, and you can just simply edit some sentences or some words you can edit, and you can make a chapter without giving too much effort if already you have a review article published on that particular area. So that is the beauty of the research article. But after completing PhD, the review articles are usually not very much valued, and it is not considered under your own contribution. And but this gives you a lot of insight, which is very much beneficial. So as per the definition, a review article is an article that summarizes the current state of understanding on a topic. A review article surveys and summarizes previously published studies. This is the definition of the review article. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that I will show you one review article. Okay. I will show you one or two review articles, and I will give you an idea that how the review articles are done. So first, I will show you this article. This is an article of Elsevier. Okay, this is the first review paper. I am going to show you the paper. Okay. Let it be open. Yes, it has opened, but you cannot see it because I have not shared that screen. So I am going to share the screen right now. New share. Yes. Now I think you can see it. Okay. So this is, you can see that this is the title of the paper is Patient Flow Modeling and Performance Analysis of Healthcare Delivery Process in Hospitals, a Review and Reflections. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is this has been published in the Journal of Computers and Industrial Engineering. This is a journal of Elsevier Publishing House, and the author is Papia Bhattacharya and Pradeep Kumar Rai. Papia was my colleague earlier. She did her PhD from IIT Kharagpur. We spent a lot of time in IIT. So Papia, what this is the paper. Okay. So so I will ask you that this is a very good example of making a review paper and you can check out that how meticulously she has done all those things. Okay, and now nothing to much more tell about this paper. I mean, I will show you just how she has classified everything. Okay, you can the link is provided. I will also give you the link. There will be no problem. You can, or I can directly, I can post this paper in the WhatsApp group. You can go through the paper to get an idea that how the review paper is done. So now I will show you the tabular in tabular format. Yes, this is the page number 39. This is 40. Yes. So you can see that here she has considered different queuing models in hospital systems. Okay, different queuing models. I am not going to discuss about the queuing models or what is queuing model or what is Markov chain or non Markov chain is what is steady state or time dependent and non-Markov chain models. Those things I am not going to discuss because our focus is now on the how to do the literature review part, not on the tools and techniques. So what she has done, you can see that in a hospital, first she has considered different types of queuing models. You can see here, this is the single node queuing models. And then the other types of queuing models also she has considered. Network queuing models and different types of queuing models she has considered. So in this particular single node queuing models, she has classified it in two other models. One is Markovian models and another is non-Markovian models. So under Markovian models, then again she has classified in two different categories. One is steady state and another is time dependent. Okay, steady state means no change with time. Time dependent means there is the variable or the pattern is actually changing with time. Okay, so you can see that under steady state, under Markovian steady state, she has considered three different papers she has considered. Okay, one Green and Nguyen and De Bruin and others. Et al. Means and others. Then time under time dependent, she has considered one. Then under non-Markovian steady state, she has considered 9 articles. Okay. And under time dependent, she has considered 4 articles. And the type of analysis or application and special features of the model, if any, that means what is the highlighting area in that particular paper, that she has also revealed, that she has also stated that what are the highlighting area. You can see for this paper one that this is a theoretical paper considering a patient queue in general. This paper talks about hospital bed planning. This paper talks about bed allocation. Okay, so what is the topic or the subject of the paper that she has considered? Okay, here. And apart from that, she has also done the different analytical tools and approaches. Okay, that is analytical formulation and the Markov process analysis, AQF, DES. These are explained. Analytic queuing formula, discrete event simulation. So basically, what I would like to say that she has actually classified all these things based on not based on purely tools and techniques, but depending on the uh, time, whether it is time dependent or not time dependent, or the different types of queuing models, she has classified this thing. Okay, so uh, in case of these kind of review articles, we classify different, we analyze different types of papers, different in a particular domain. Okay, and we classify them. This is one method of literature review. And the classification, you can do the classification based on anything. I mean, it can be based on the tools and techniques. Okay, the kind of tools and techniques that have been used. For example, suppose if the paper is focused on multi-criteria decision analysis method, some papers have suppose used multi-criteria decision making analysis. So you can make a cluster of MCDM. You can make another cluster based on different types of optimization techniques. You can make another cluster based on suppose conceptual or hypothetical based research work like factor analysis. Okay, so in this way, taking into account different types of analytical tools, you can, and some paper could be theoretical, can be theoretical as well. So in this way, you can classify. Okay, so this is one technique. Okay, so this is one technique of classification which she has actually implemented. And also not only the classification technique, but also if you go through the paper, you can see that different performance measures, what are the performance measures the papers they have used. So that is also there. And what are the key performance indicators, that is also mentioned in the paper. Okay, you can see that different key performance indicators are there. Patients average and or expected waiting time in the system, physicians average idle time, physicians average overtime. So lot of indicators you will find, which will actually help you to do your own original research work later. Okay, so review paper is actually the base for conducting your original for carrying out the actual research work, or conducting the actual research work, or making the original research article. Okay, so that's why research article or review article is important. And apart from that, there is also another very good thing you will find, that in this paper an outstanding research framework she has made, that you can go through. This is the research framework. Okay, a generic framework for patient flow modeling and performance analysis of healthcare delivery process in hospitals. Okay, so this is a generic framework which he has developed, and you can see that there are basically 3 columns. And in the first column, she has represented different phases like preliminary understanding and data collection phase, data analysis phase, patient flow modeling phase, and performance analysis phase. So these are 3 phases. and in in a particular phase what kind of activities are performed. So that she has also mentioned, that in preliminary understanding what are the steps, like drawing of flow or process chart of the system, identification of stages in the process of care, collection of informations or configuration of the system, performance matrices of interest, resources available, broad classification of patients and corresponding priorities, problems, possible causes, what are the steps to be performed. That is that she has mentioned regarding the data collection process, and here the selection of patient flow modeling techniques, development of the model or model building. So the generic framework she has made. And in also the third column, you can see that she has represented that how she will perform these tasks. That means what are the tools and techniques she will use and how she will collect the data, that is actually mentioned. For example, for data analysis space, you can see that statistical tools and techniques like maximum likelihood estimation, tests of goodness of fit test, CART. So these kind of tools and techniques she will use. Okay, Markov chain models, simulation models, statistical model, different statistical models. So these things she will actually use. Okay. So what is the importance of this? The generic framework will actually guide you that how you will perform your entire research work. That the generic framework will guide you. Based on your generic framework, you can also state, or you can also establish your own research framework. That is also possible. Okay, but again, it is also true that the generic, whenever you are making a literature a review paper, the generic framework is not mandatory. She has given it, but it is not mandatory. But whenever you will be making your thesis, at that point of time, you must represent your framework. You must mention or give your research framework, so that the reviewer can understand that what are your research objectives and how step by step you will proceed, you will move forward. Okay, but still now we have not discussed about how the research generic framework to be described. I will discuss this later. But now just we are discussing on the review articles, how to do the literature review. So we will stick to the basic things. Okay, so this is one kind of paper that has made by Papia Bhattacharya. It is a very good paper, you can go through it, and I will obviously share the paper with you. Now I am going to close it and I will show you another paper. Okay, I am going to show you another review article. Okay, so now this paper is completed. Okay, now the second paper I will show you. This paper is actually this paper made by me. I did in my PhD. I actually did this literature review. So take a look at this one. This I will show you. I will also share this article with in WhatsApp group so that you can understand. Better I show you my original article. That will be better for you to understand. Just give me some time. Okay, now I can share it. Okay, so the title of the paper is Indicators and Methods for Environmentally Conscious Manufacturing Programs, a Review and Reflections. Okay, so this is a typical title of the paper. So here what I have done, you can see that in this paper, there are some sections. Okay, the first is there is introduction section. Then there is the importances of ECM programs. ECM means environmentally conscious manufacturing. This is the second section. Then the third section is a classification of the existing methods for ECM programs. Then the fourth section is critical appraisal of the existing methods. Then I have given some tables, and then in fifth section I have given again the generic framework to evaluate ECM programs, but it is not mandatory. And in the fifth phase, I have this is the generic framework, and in the sixth phase I have made the conclusion section. Okay, this is the conclusion part. So typically in a literature review paper, what I personally prefer, I prefer that first there will be introduction, then in the second section there will be suppose the area that you are working on, you will be mentioning something about that area, or importance of that area. Suppose this particular paper focuses on environmentally conscious manufacturing programs. So that's why I have mentioned in the second section that what is the importance of environmentally conscious manufacturing programs, that I have mentioned. In the third section, I have mentioned different types of different classification techniques that I have mentioned. And in the fourth section, I have mentioned about the critical appraisal of the existing approaches. That means the advantages and the limitations or the drawbacks of the different approaches of environmentally conscious manufacturing programs. And in the fifth section, I have mentioned about the generic framework, which is not mandatory. You may incorporate it or may not. And the sixth phase, this is all about the conclusion section. Okay. So now let's take a look at that how I have classified it. Okay. So suppose I have seen here there are three columns. You can see that the first column tells about the method. The second column tells about the indicator, and the third column, it is talking about the sources of the paper. Okay, the meeting will come to an end after just within 5 or 7 minutes. After that we will rejoin. Okay, no problem. So you can see that what are the methods and indicators for ECM programs. So you can see that the methods here, there is a strategic environmental assessment. It is one method. The sustainability measurement, this is another method. Intelligent environmental management, this is another method. Environmental innovation management, this is another method. Environmental risk governance, this is also another method. Okay. So basically in my paper, actually this is the review paper, but if you have a look at my original research article, then there also I have given this particular table, and there you will see that I have actually made these as indicators. Okay. And the issues that I have used as the constructs or the unobserved variables. Okay. So here you can see that what strategic environmental assessment deals with. It deals with, basically you consider that these instead of methods, you can consider these strategic environmental assessment, sustainability measurement, you can consider these things as indicators, and these things you can consider simply as description. Okay. So the strategic environmental assessment that deals with top management support or commitment and manpower involvement, including environmental training. Here it is approach to increase, then this is sub indicators, you can say, that approach to increase environmental expenditures, operational cost, training cost, environmental friendly material costs, waste and water treatment, recycling cost. These, there are different types of sub indicators are there. These are actually indicators. I can simply say at this that these are indicators. This will be better for you to understand. And I can say these things are sub indicators. So it will be easier for you to understand. Okay. So you can see that how I have classified these things. The main problem whenever you will go through a literature review paper, you should not expect that everything will be ready-made. Okay, that is not possible. You can understand that suppose when I have gone through this particular paper written by Toke, Sambasivan, and Jabbar, they have said about the top management commitment, support, or manpower involvement like this. Whenever I have gone through the paper of Shuoshi and Goto, Jaraite, Wang, and others, they have talked about approach to increase environmental expenditure like operational cost, training cost, environment friendly materials cost, waste and water treatment or recycling cost. Whenever I have gone through these papers, Choi et al., Edat et al., Edat and others, they have talked about approach to maintain regulations imposed by the government and stakeholders. Whenever I have gone through the paper of Sarkis, I have seen that there are approaches to ISO 14001 certification or environmental policy or formal environmental management system for green manufacturing and green supply chain management. Okay. But you need to have the consent, or you need to have the acumen that all these things are talking about strategy. So all these sub indicators, I can form an indicator like strategic environmental assessment, taking into account all these sub indicators. You need to have this acumen. Otherwise, nobody, because in different research papers, the authors, they classify it in different ways. So ready-made, you find nothing. You need to take those things and you need to consider, you will find different types of indicators. You will write simply you take a white A4 size paper, you write all those indicators, you write the sources, and you will automatically, you will understand that which particular indicators or which particular sub indicators are similar in nature. So taking into account all those similar indicators, you can form a cluster. Okay. And if you are able to form a cluster of indicators or construct, then it is very beneficial to start your research work or original research work. Okay. So what I did, I am just sharing my experience, that suppose sustainability measurement. Going through this particular paper, I have understood that they also consider the aspect of sustainability, long-term sustainable initiatives regarding green manufacturing and green supply chain management over budget schedule. Going through the report of RICO Group sustainability report, I can understand that they are talking about recycling initiatives like joining local recycling organizations or establishing collaboration with same sector industry. So this is a kind of, these things are kind of a sustainability approach. So I can, taking these sub indicators, I can form a cluster of indicator like sustainability measurement. Okay. In this way, I have formed different indicators like strategic environmental assessment, sustainability measurement, intelligent environmental management, environmental innovation management, environmental risk governance, integrated pollution control, energy consumption control, lean manufacturing practices, green supply chain management, service impact control. So after going through a lot of papers, I have identified first different sub-indicators, and not only the journals, I have also gone through some prestigious report. For example, suppose RICO Group Sustainability Report. This is not a journal article. This is a report. This is actually the report of Japan. Okay. So whenever you will be doing or you will be conducting research, mind it that you will not only go through the research journal articles, but also you should go through esteemed reports. That is also very valuable. Okay. So after going through a lot of journal articles and lot of reports, first I have found different sub indicators. I have found. Okay. So then I noticed that which particular sub indicators are similar in nature. Now it is less than 1 minute. Okay. So after that, we can join. Okay, we can rejoin again. So we can understand that which particular sub indicators are similar in nature. So those particular sub indicators will form a cluster which we will treat as indicators. Okay, you can see that different indicators I have formed. Okay, there are different 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 indicators I have, finally 10 indicators I have clustered. Okay. So after that, what I will do, that I am going to tell you. Okay, now it is less than 1 minute. Okay, now it is